Hi everyone, welcome back to Ignited Minds. Well, today I'm back here with a very interesting chapter of class 8 English. Now, this chapter is kind of related with science also because here you are going to learn about animals and plants which disguise themselves. Now, what is the meaning of disguise? Let us start with the basics. So, the first word that I want all of you to pay attention to is camouflage. Now, what is this camouflage? Camouflage means the act of animals or plants when they try to hide themselves, from the surroundings to save themselves from the predator. Predators are basically who are going to attack them. Suppose this is one insect who wants to kill the another insect. So this is the predator and this is the prey. So the act of disguising, that means when they hide themselves either by changing their color, either by changing the texture or even changing the size, that means a kind of a difference in their body posture, that is known as a camouflage. Now, I have shown you the first image in the starting of the video. That insect is known as chameleon. It's chameleon. Now, what are the characteristics of this animal? It also follows this disguising or camouflage. It has the ability to change color. You must have seen, if you see chameleon in any forest or in garden, if it is on the grass, it will turn to green. If it is on the wood, it will turn to brown. So that means it has the capability and potential to change the color. Now, why does he change color? Of course, because the predators around him will not be able to find him. And second thing is, he will be in a better position to attack the animals, because now the insect and animals, they cannot identify. Suppose if a chameleon is on the grass and there is a little insect passing by, so the insect will not be able to understand if chameleon exists or not. So it can eat also and it can save himself also. It has a long sticky tongue. Of course, it doesn't uses its hands to capture the insects or animals. What does it do? It has a long sticky tongue. When it takes out the sticky tongue, the insects in the surrounding, they get stick to it and then it eats it. Next is eye is independent. Can you believe it? Chameleon can move the eye independently. Like if he has to turn the left eye, he would turn it and the right eye would be straight. Now, how does it help him? He can look on both the side. Like suppose he can see this side also and this side also, all the insect he would like to have. So these are the unique characteristics of chameleon. Now moving forward, I would like to tell you where this word has come from, where this camouflage or chameleon word is used. So this chameleon is basically derived from a Greek word which means, chamai means earth and leon means tiger. So this chameleon is also known as tiger earth. It's a Greek word. Now there are certain forms of camouflage. Camouflage can also not only be done through the colors. Somebody can change their shape also, somebody can change the texture also. So there are varieties of camouflage that we are going to read now. So the very first variety is phasmatode. Now this phasmatode means this category of animals, they are divided into three: stick insects, stick bug and bug sticks. They are also known as ghost. Now you see stick everywhere. Have you ever seen a twig? You see a twig. A twig is a simple branch of a tree. We have the insects also which are exactly similar to the twig. So when the insect sits on that twig, nobody can identify if it is a twig or an insect. So that variety, that category is known as stick insects, stick bugs and bug sticks. Such are the animals. Now one more example of this is Arctic fox. You can also call it as white fox. Now this fox also has a tendency to change, to adapt himself in the environment. Now this white fox, it is generally found in northern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere, that means where is all the ice all around. So the ice is white, the color of the fox is white. So it saves himself from other predators which are in the environment or which are in the surrounding. But there is one restriction to it. This Arctic fox can only adjust in the land where there is ice. If you take Arctic fox here, then of course it can easily be identified. So there is one restriction with Arctic fox, and that is it can only be present in the islands or wherever there is ice all around. Next is cuttlefish. Now this is one way ahead than chameleon. Chameleon can only change the color, but this cuttlefish is superb when it comes to changing color, texture and size. This cuttlefish can even change the texture. It can become soft, it can become hard, it can become small, it can even become bigger and threaten the predators. Sometimes this cuttlefish enlarges itself so that it is able to scare away or threaten away the animals. Now let us learn about the second variety of camouflage. It is known as disruptive coloration. What is this disruptive coloration? Disruptive coloration means when animals have developed an outline in a way that the other animals cannot find them. Have you ever seen zebra? A zebra has black and white linings all over it. So particularly in the night, those white and black lining, particularly the black lining, it looks as if it's a shadow. So the animals get confused. You know, when the lions and tiger, they come to attack the zebra, they get confused if it is a grass, if it's the shadow of a grass. Suppose if a zebra is lying on the floor. So they find it difficult to understand if it is zebra or it is the shadow of a grass. So such kind of disruptive coloration is also a form of camouflage. Now next is nature mime. Mime here means mimic, to mimic somebody. Now how does these animals mimic the nature? First is the stonefish. All of you are aware of it. What does a stonefish do? A stonefish looks like a stone. It is kept like a stone. So all the fishes or all the animals that go across the stonefish, they cannot understand that it is a stone or a fish. So stone is mimicking the stone here. Stonefish mimics the stone. It is nearly impossible for any predator or any prey also to identify if this stone is a living being. It can even open up the mouth and capture the animals. The second example is leafy sea garden. Not this leafy, it's dragon. I'm sorry, it's dragon. Leafy sea dragon. Now in this leafy sea dragon, what will you see? That it can even extend its body. It can extend its parts and it looks like a sea fish. People cannot understand if it is a dragon or if it's a sea fish. So starfish, most of the animals confuse them and and they become a prey of this leafy sea dragon. Now there are some self-decoration kind of camouflage also. Some animals and insects, what do? They cover themselves with lot of stuff. They cover them with stone, etc., so that they are under the stones and nobody could see them. What are the example of these? Decoration crabs are the example of self-decoration camouflage. Now we have seen camouflage in animals, all kind of disruptive coloration, be it increasing the size or texture, etc. Now we are going to read about the camouflage in plants. Even plants do a variety of tricks to eat their prey. Now I have shown two diagrams here. This is a Venus flytrap plant and this is a pitcher plant. Now what does this do? As you can see in this image, it has got a broad structure which is known as lobe. Two structure, these are known as lobe. Now one is nectar glands here, which is on the top. Now what is the need of nectar glands? You all know that butterfly, bees and certain animals, they look for nectar. You know, they smell the nectar and they come on the plant. So this plant is actually a carnivorous plant, a plant that eats up the insects, butterflies, birds, etc. So how does it eat? They do not have hands, they do not have teeth. So what is the basic function? What they do, these nectar glands, they produce nectar. So there is a smell on the lobes. Now when the insect comes to it, these are the trigger hairs. Hair is where the animal sits. So as soon as the insect hits these trigger hair, these lobe gets closed. Now once it is closed, the animal is inside and these corner, these prickly ons, they cut the animals into parts. But now, as you know, even for us to digest thing, we need some kind of water. We need to digest it. So what does that liquidy thing come from? It comes from the digestive gland. Digestive gland releases some juices which allows the insect to be smooth in water. Now this is how a Venus flytrap eats the insects. Now let us talk about this pitcher plant. In this pitcher plant also, see the structure of it. The leaf, you will not be even able to understand where does the animal go or where does the animal insect come from. So what happens, this oval thing you see, it is called the rim. It is very sticky, it's very smooth, anyone can slide over it. So what mistake usually insects do, they come and they sit on this rim. On this rim, the rim, you know, it's very silky, very smooth. The insects go inside it and then enter it, and then the lid of it is closed. This is open right now, then the lid is closed, and then the animal goes inside the pitcher body. Now you see, even the plants and animals both, they do not leave any way to be a camouflage and to eat their prey and predators. But why do they need to camouflage? We have read about so many animals and plants. What is the basic necessity to change their body? Why? Because there are two reasons basically. One, they want to save themselves from being eaten by their predators, and second, they of course want to have their own prey. If we are all a food cycle, we need food to eat and survive. So I hope this chapter was quite clear to you. If you really understood the chapter well, please go like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Till then, keep learning, keep sharing.